I think there's a growing movement of people who care about global issues and connect the dots between the local and global and are really interested in taking action.
When I was in 6th grade, this man from Rwanda came to stay with my family and I for 2 weeks. He was working for the Unity and Reconciliation Commission in Rwanda. One night over dinner, he was speaking about how there were young girls and children my age that not only lost their parents and their families, but they lost their opportunity to go to school. I was at the time going to an all-girls school where I was being taught to be an incredible, empowered woman through my education and through my opportunities. And so to hear that there were girls just like me not being given that chance, I was really upset by that. So I went back to my middle school. I started a club, and it all went from there. Riches Rwanda in Puwe is a youth-led organization that works by raising money to help these girls to go to school and by supporting them to get an education. We then try to help these girls to become empowered women and to lead their nations in the future through their education.
Richards Rwanda is a great example of a young woman here in Seattle deciding to reach out to her peers in Rwanda to be able to better the quality of their life. I Need Education is a great example of an organization that understands the importance of educating girls. They work in Afghanistan, they've built over 35 schools, and they have done this work long enough that they now see some of their students come back and teach in their schools. One World Now is an organization that's working with high school students all around Washington State and working especially with students who would not have an opportunity to travel abroad and study abroad. And they provide them with this opportunity, and while students are in other countries, they'll have a chance to volunteer in the communities and to learn about the culture and the language of the countries that they're visiting. Today, there are over 600 million girls in the developing world, and girls everywhere, really globally, face very complex challenges. And this campaign features 10 organizations who are effective, they're impactful, they're collaborating, and actually bringing about change in ways that I think we could take pride in.
I never used to smile. I never used to smile completely. I never took care of myself. I never just even take time to look myself in the mirror because I knew by the end of the day, I'm a dead woman.
Fistula, from a medical standpoint, is a hole in the body where it doesn't belong. In this case, in a reproductive health context, fistula is caused by obstructed labor. It's called obstetric fistula. It's where a baby gets caught in the woman's body for prolonged amounts of time when you're in labor.
I got fistula in 1995 when I was 19, and I lived with fistula for 12 years. Immediately after the surgery, that the self-esteem is boosted. You become a real woman, and when you become a real woman, that is the time now you identify where the beauty in you, and it has been great.
The medical treatment is a surgery. It costs around $500 per woman. That $500 repair includes her surgical care, anesthesia, and nursing care, and convalescing at a hospital for 2 weeks.
One by One's work is critical because not only they treat an important health issue, but they also are working with an issue that has a tremendous amount of stigma attached to it. Imaging the World is a great example of an organization that is providing healthcare services to women in rural areas. They have a device that is easily transportable and, like an ultrasound, can scan images, and the technician can then send these images to hospitals and clinics nearby. Heal Africa is an organization that has that started out as a small clinic providing healthcare services to women, but they also are a beautiful example of an organization working to achieve social change, because they work with leaders in communities to really change attitudes towards women and women's issues and to achieve policy change.
Mana is a social enterprise. We provide financial services to support rural African communities, really building the necessary financial infrastructure they need in order to thrive and become self-sustaining. Tomato crops is one of the main crops that a lot of our farmers rely on.
Upaya Social Ventures is a great example of an organization working on economic development by seeking out women who are interested in starting small businesses, and they provide them with training and some startup funds to be able to get their businesses off the ground. Women's Enterprise International is working in East Africa, where there's a tremendous shortage of water, and one of the examples of how they work with this issue is that they set up tanks to collect rainwater in the communities, and women are able to provide water for their families for a whole year from this water available. Join us on September 22nd as we celebrate the work of over 50 organizations who are involved in addressing women and girls issues all over the world. You'll be able to learn about education, about healthcare, about economic opportunities for women and girls, about so many different issues that you will be really interested to learn about. So be there. If you'd like to support one of the organizations that you've heard about, please go on our website and make a gift of $12 or more. As you've heard, all of these organizations are very small, and your gift will have a very big impact. We're proud that all of these organizations are members of Global Washington and will continue to bring you stories about their work in the future. Thank you.